The Joe Rogan Experience.
I wonder how long it's going to take before the human race eradicates that. Because I think if you look at like Pinker's work and some other people that studied violence and abuse and all the various things that we love least about civilization, those markers are going down sort of across the board, whether it's violent crime or rape. Those markers are slowly going down. Like, how long does it take before there's none of that anymore?
Part of it's they say what crippled the mafia was just the fact there are cameras everywhere. You can't just drop bodies all the time because you don't know. Everybody's got a fucking ring. The cops just go, "Can we take a look at your ring footage?"
Right.
And you know, you got to make a getaway somewhere. You're always on camera. You're always on camera. And they can do this. They can just follow the dots.
Well, Snowden just posted something that I retweeted it. See if you can find that, Jamie, about China, and the citizens are sort of revolting against this constant surveillance state that's overtaken China. And he was saying, over the next 10 years, this is what's going to be America. Absent sweeping reform, this is the whole world in 10 years. Remember, both parties in the U.S. defend mass surveillance programs. China's advantage here is not technological, but that there's no strong civil opposition to slow the descent into nightmare. So China is not, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. China is not able to slow it. They're just slowly descending into the surveillance state.
This is the biggest, one of the biggest. That's why not trusting your fucking leaders is very important. We were lied to in Afghanistan for 18 years by senior U.S. officials.
The authorities can scan your phone, track your face, and find out when you leave your home. One of the world's biggest spying networks is aimed at regular people, and no one can stop it. Yeah. And this is in China.
Yeah, all in the name of security. There's never been a regime, a government that didn't use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
So the Nazis Hitler, when he became chancellor, took away all civil liberties because in the name of protecting the fatherland from essentially terrorism, because a communist lit the Reichstag on fire.
Well, what's interesting is how long is it going to take before some version of this makes it over here? Because it seems inevitable.
It's coming, but you have to fight it tooth and fucking nail. Americans should always be distrustful of their authority figures. I don't give a fuck how much you like Trump or anybody else. You should hold your leaders accountable, and you should always have a healthy distrust.
Well,
we were lied to for 18 years about how the war was going in Afghanistan. We spent over $1 trillion on that fucking war over the past, how long has it been? Since 2003? Good. And we were trying to turn it into a modern nation. Senior U.S. officials, whether intelligence, military, and everybody else, they knew this was an unwinnable war. I know too many people who spent 10 years over there. They all knew it too. And somehow that just never made it out. And every general kept saying, we're at a turning point in the war where we're going to defeat the Taliban. No, you weren't, and you know the difference. And you knew that at the time. And I understand that there's a lot of pressure and everything else, but we spent all that money for fucking what? And a lot of Americans got injured and fucking killed for it. And we were lied to.
I know, but this is what's interesting about what you're saying. This is the argument for something like this in the first place. That if you had mass surveillance everywhere, people wouldn't be able to plan terrorist attacks.
Oh, fuck that. That's what we always use that as an excuse.
I know, but that's what that's how they would implement something like that. And if they could get something like that implemented in Afghanistan and put a giant kibosh on the amount of terrorist activities.
Yeah, right. Good luck.
I know. I would say good luck
study
too.
History,
but
study history to see how that turns out. That's why studying history is.
See, the thing is, this kind of tool has never existed. Like, you could study history all day long,
but governments
it's only going to prepare you sort of peripherally. It's not really going to prepare you for what technology can do today. There's nothing in history that can really tell you where this goes.
I agree with you, but politicians use the same exact language they've been using forever, which is we have to protect the public from these insurgents, this danger.
Here's the solution to that. Here's the solution to that. Eventually, there's no more government. Here's the solution to that. What this is doing, it's making it almost impossible to have a traditional government, right? Because if this stuff starts making it into then we can find out what they're doing all the time. So what if it turns out, well, we'll let you mass surveillance on that, but we want 24/7 access to anyone who is any sort of representative, anyone who's a congressman, anyone who's a senator, anyone who's a president. We want 24/7 access to everything you say and do. We want to know. We want to know who you are. No more backs.
My problem with that is that then you wouldn't have the best people getting in the
You don't have
government.
the best people now.
That's true, but
It's gone.
There's
It's
enough.
over.
You're already dealing with that as a politician and stuff. I don't know if that's the answer. My
I'm not
my
saying
thing
it's
is
the answer,
yeah.
Brian Callen. I'm just saying imagine.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. It's
Yeah.
a terrible idea, but imagine if this is what the world becomes. Everyone has access to everyone's life.
See, the way I believe it is if you want to learn about somebody as a government agency, you got major firewalls and you need warrants and make it fucking difficult.
Right,
That's what I
but
think.
the reason why a country like the United States goes to war with a country like Afghanistan or
Yeah.
against or ISIS
Is to
is
protect
because you have leaders and groups.
Yeah.
Once there's no leaders
see what
and
you're
once there's no groups and everybody can see everything that everybody's doing, then you have no more need for government.
Somebody's got to, but all societies are,
You have
are
management
predicated.
of resources.
No, but you also have to have somebody
No more
in a
war.
society has to have the monopoly on violence.
Well, maybe.
understand what I'm saying?
Or all the resources get distributed evenly. All natural
Communist, you
resources,
fucking communist.
all natural resources on Earth are owned by the human beings that inhabit the Earth, not the human beings that live on that one particular spot.
Impossible.
So all the Saudi trillionaires and all those dudes who are making fracking money, that's our money, bitch. It's our Earth. You're
Impossible.
stealing the fucking essence of the Earth and selling it back to the people. How dare you?
Karl Marx right here, man.
No, I'm just
this
saying.
is the problem, Jamie.
Imagine
you bring me
if
in this
just
podcast.
that, but all the other things you could sell. You could sell cars. You could sell this. You could sell that. You could make buildings. You can. I'm not stopping capitalism, but I'm saying is all natural resources. All of them belong to the conquerors of the earth, which is us, the human beings.
You just solved a lot of problems right now.
All of it. So no trillionaire oil barons, no dependence on fossil fuels, because yeah, fossil fuels are great, but if no one in particular is profiting entirely off fossil fuels, because the money has to be distributed evenly to everyone. The same with solar, same with anything that's a resource, any natural resources.
Yeah, but you need
Minerals?
You need the technology to harness that stuff.
You can sell that. You
Yeah.
can sell that, but what you can't sell is oil.
Well,
Fuck you.
oil's sold on the open market.
Not anymore. Not when I'm president.
What the fuck,
Yes.
dude?
So oil's everybody.
Are you gonna run?
We're stealing it. We'll nuke the world. If they don't give us the oil, just listen. Let's start fresh with amoebas. This is not going
Dude,
well.
let
We
me
need
be
to
your
restart.
vice president. You
Okay.
run.
I like it.
You run.
Okay.
And then what's our platform? What's our
How do
slogan?
we fix the tuna in the sea?
What's our slogan?
How do we grow more tuna?
Lead-free tuna, you fucks.
Yeah. No more dinner theater. Everybody that works in dinner theater now makes tuna. You work in a tuna plant where you make tunas fuck
I
each
feel like
other.
this is-
so we have more tuna because
You
we're running out of tuna.
You force a breeding program?
Yes. And you're going to have to filter the ocean.
You're a
'Cause
terrible president.
I'm a great president. We fucked up the ocean. There's all these heavy metals and poison in there. We need a filter for the ocean. Sort of like the filter that you have at your house.
Yeah.
That filters the tap water.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You need one of those for the ocean.
Jesus.
Problem solved.
It's going to be expensive as shit, dude.
Not really.
All right.
Not when you get rid of music, dinner theater, all musicals.
Oh,
must
you use the
stop.
money.
Yeah.
I got you.
And make those people go to work in a real job.
Damn.
Yeah, all those people that think that musicals are what people want to see.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Really?
Fuck you. Go.
But
go
I
make
like
tuna.
musicals.
Oh, you son of a bitch.